Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, it is wonderful to see you here. Thank you ever so much for choosing to spend your time with me. So today I'm hoping that we'll do something a little bit fun. You might have seen our announcement a few weeks ago. Myself and Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors have set up our own Facebook group. It's called Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration. As always, it is linked down below if you're not yet a member. And Mandy has come up with a fabulous challenge for us this week, which I'm really excited to do, and I'm a bit nervous. It's called Oops, Look What I Made. And basically the premise is we have to pick something from this list, so something each from each of these bullet points. But we're not allowed to pick and choose. We have to pick the first thing that we find in that category of things. So the first one is fabric, ribbon, lace, or something similar. I have to pick the first one, which is wonderful. I mean, you know, this is really going to get our creativity going, and it's really going to make us think outside the box, isn't it? So all of these details are in the Facebook group. They're in the events tab. But I am filming this video, so, you know, if you're not part of the Facebook group, you can still get involved with the challenge. Please do. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's running this week, and I thought I would pull you along for the journey with myself today, and I thought we would pick our goodies that we're going to make something with together, and then, yeah, I have to put my thinking cap on as to what we're going to make. So shall we go through this list and pick things together? So the next part of the video will be me going around my craft room. So prepare yourselves if you get a little bit seasick. Aside from that, I hope this video will be a little bit of fun. So I'll be back in 2 secs. Okay, here's the first thing. So it was some fabric or lace. So I'm grabbing the first one. So I've got this card. It's technically got 2 bits of lace on, but I think that's allowed. Okay, so I'm supposed to get a sticker now. So I'm just grabbing one out of here. Oops. Oh, that's not a sticker. I promise I'm not cheating. Okay, I've got one. Alright, the next thing is an embellishment or ephemera piece. I think I've got some stuff in here. Okay, I've got one. Okay, we're supposed to get something dyed. So I've got some tea-dyed paper. Okay, we're supposed to get a stamp or a stencil. So I guess mine is going to be stars. I'm supposed to get some ink. So I guess mine will be vintage photo to go with the stencil. Okay, so these next ones I can do with you being up there. So cardstock, product packaging, or something from your scrap bin. So I'm going to take something from my scrap bin. So closing my eyes. I think this is the first thing I'm grabbing. Let me just pull it out. There we go. Got it. That's pretty. Oh, that's nice colours. Okay, so that's that one. So let me just tick that one off. All right. Next one, book page. Well, as we know, I got plenty of those. So here we go. I'm grabbing it. That is my book page. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not nice, is it? Oh dear, it's a book page about, well, I guess it's from a gardening book. Oh yes, popular gardening adverts. So yeah, I've got some weed killer adverts. That's great. All right, well, I'm not cheating. I am not cheating. All right, what's the last one? A sheet of craft paper. It can be in the form of a digital. So I actually have a folder full of just odds and ends with digitals. So, okay. All right, here we go. I'm pulling out, again, closing my eyes, and I've got some pretty roses. Ooh, I have a feeling this is from Nanine from Collage Type. I want to say it's her cottage rose kit. All right, is that everything? So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. Okay, let's see. So I've got my craft paper, my book page, something from my scrap box. I have a sticker, an embellishment, some lace, my stencil, something tea dyed. So I think that's everything. What on earth are we going to make with these things? Since sorting out my craft room, I must say picking out those things was a lot easier because I actually knew where to go. So, you know, there's that. Okay, right, well, where's my, I had a sticker in that, didn't I? I've lost them already. Oh, here they are, found them. Alright, well, yeah, hats off to anyone who can figure out what on earth to do with these things. I'm going to have to go away and have a little bit of a think. Once I know what we're making, I'll come back and we'll make it together. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got a whole piece of A4 tea-dyed paper and I've got a whole digital. So yeah, I'm going to have to put my thinking cap on. So I will be back in 2 secs for you, and let's see if we can try and make something out of this. It's exciting, isn't it? Alright, so I think I know what I'm going to do with all these pieces now. There was a few things I could have done, and yeah, I sort of, yeah, I've got a few ideas, but I think I'm settled. So I was going to do some kind of like notebook or something, but then I thought, you know what, challenge myself a little bit more and do something different. So I think what I'm going to do is some kind of like ephemera folder type thing. I don't want it to be too complicated. Especially as this is my first video since coming back from my Isle of Wight trip, so you have to bear with me as I'm probably a teensy bit rusty. So I'm just gonna take this down first of all. This is a gorgeous printable from Nanine at Collage Type. I think it's her Cottage Rose kit, if memory serves me correctly. And I'm basically going to take off this page and I'm going to use that. I may use the other piece, but I haven't quite decided yet. I may be able to use this in something, so we'll just see. It's one of those not really knowing what you're doing type projects, isn't it, really? So if we're going to do some kind of ephemera folder type thing, we want it to fold and have a bit of a flap. The difficulty is that if I were to, because there's writing on this piece, I feel like regardless of which way round I do it, I'm gonna have an upside down rose and all sorts. So what I'm thinking is using some non-directional paper. So I have this scrap, which if I were to cut this piece down just a teensy bit more, it would fit it. So let's do that. So this is, yeah, very much a craft with me video as I figure out how best to do this challenge that Mandy has set us in the group, which is sorry about that. It was just the postman. Right, what was I saying? So I'm thinking about this could be the lining potentially, because then when we fold this piece up, you know, we don't have to worry about which way round it goes. My only hesitation is it's going to be quite a small, it's going to be quite small, but it is to go in a journal, I suppose, so I guess I just get on with it, shall I? Okay, right, I'm going to start by gluing this piece onto the card, because I don't want this, you know, this is only a little project, so I don't want the video to be, you know, terribly long. If I feel that I need to cut it down, then obviously I will, but I'm trying my hardest not to, not to have to do that. Yeah, so we've just come back from the Isle of Wight. For those of you who didn't know, we were, I'll have it, sorry, I'm just thinking which way around I'd like it to be that way. Yeah, so we just come back from the Isle of Wight, which is a small island along the south coast of the UK, and it's first time going there. and ended up being really pretty, and we really lucked out with the weather. Believe it or not, I actually got a little bit sunburned. So did my husband. Yeah, we don't get much sun, so when it does happen, our pale skin, you know, goes finds it a bit of a shock to the system, really. Now, I haven't exactly glued that very nicely, have I? But I suppose this type of paper lends itself well to having a little bit of a vintage feel to it, I guess. We'll have to do some trimming down, but we'll go with that initially. And then I'm just going to use my scoreboard. Not essential, but just to so I know where my folds are going to go. So I'm just going to put a fold here. Let's see about that. Okay, and then I have the other fold about here, because I'm going to have to trim some down off of this piece anyway. That go through. There we go. Okay, so we'll have something a little bit like that. So I'm just going to hit pause whilst I get it trimmed down, and then I'll just bone folder it a little bit. So I'll just be a moment. Okay, so we have this at the moment. I've just inked around it as well as rounding the corners. Now, because the paper inside is really pretty, I don't really want to cover that completely. If it was just an ephemera folder, all you would see is this piece. But so I'm thinking if I were to make it some kind of like fold down thing, we could have, you know, a pocket or something. But how to go about that is the question. So I think what I want to do is fold this tea-dyed paper in half lengthways, because I think that will be about the width that we would want for the ephemera pieces. So let's just see how that would go. So yeah, we need to chop off some, but let's see, how deep do we want it to be? Something like that maybe? So let's just see about having a couple of these. I imagine this going in a journal, so I probably only want a couple. Sorry if I'm taking everything off to the side, by the way. It's, yeah, my first video after coming back from the holiday, and to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit rusty. So you have to bear with me. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that, or could even have it, no, because when you turn it upside down, things would fall out, wouldn't they? I just don't want to cover up the rose, because it's very pretty, but I have to make something. So if we were to cut those pieces down ever so slightly, they would be nicely hidden in there. Let me just have a think. Okay, I think I got it. So I've just trimmed these two pieces down to size so that they're nicely hidden in there when we close up this bottom flap. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm thinking if I were to have them in there, then this could fold down and we could have some kind of pocket or something. I think that's the only way I'm going to do it, because I was umming and ahhing whether I should maybe have them down here, and then this isn't hidden, but then again, equally, I'm going to have to put something there anyway, so I might as well do that. Okay. Like I said, very much a craft with me, this one. So I'm going to use my beacon, not for any other reason than just to make them nice and strong. They are only copy paper, you see. Thin bead of glue along each side to close them up as little pockets. Probably could have just used my tacky glue, to be honest. Okay. I think I'm going to put a little thumb hole in them as well, just to make it easier to get into, because they are only little pockets. So okay, it's vaguely in the middle. So then we're going to have this one in there. Okay, so then I'm going to put a thin-ish bead of glue along the back edge. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. As I say, I feel a little bit rusty. My first video after a holiday is maybe not such a good idea, was it? But let's just go with it, shall we? So that gives us the thin bead of glue down the back. The idea being so that you can open it out like this, you see, once it's dry. Because if I were to glue it the whole way down, I made this mistake when I very first made these. If you glue it the whole way down on the back panel, then it just makes it harder to get into them, you see. And then I'm going to do the same thing, little thumb notch in the front. And, oops, and then do the same thing. So we're going to put a bead of glue on each side to turn it into a pocket. I'm sure you've seen these before. Lots of people have made them now. This was actually one of my very first projects that I did last year. Not this exact one that I'm doing today, but something like it. For another Facebook challenge, actually. So these challenges, they do get you to get out of your comfort zone and try new things, which is why I like them. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put that bead of glue down the middle. And then we're going to attach it to the first one. Line it up as best you can, but it's just a little make, isn't it? Just a little craft with me, so I am not letting my perfectionism take over. So then you get something like this. You see? Two little pockets. I could add a third one, but to be honest, I don't want it to be massively thick by the time you add things in there, because this is only supposed to go into a journal, you see. Now, when I first did these, I would then put a bead of glue on this flap as well, attach it there, so that you get a little like this. For this one, I'm actually going to have this flip down and have it have a pocket or something, because I've got these other bits that I really need to use. I also have a scrap from my cut-offs, but I think that's probably, that'll give us a little tuck spot, which is fine, but probably want to have like a proper pocket. So I'm wondering whether I can use this. So this was from my scrap box, wasn't it? So if I take off that section, what would this look like? Which way around does it go? What would this look like if it was a little pocket? It's too big. I just want to see. I don't know which way around it goes. I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? Could even have it be like one of those torn pockets that I like to do. let's try that. So if we were going to have this be somewhere here, I'd have to tear it from here. I'm just making it up now. But I'm thinking, because then you can kind of see, you can still see this part of the rose, can't you? Which is quite nice. And then if I tear off this section, yeah, I'm really intrigued as to what other people might have made with their random pieces that they've pulled out, you know. Because I suspect we'll have all kinds of different things going on. I could even have it on there, actually. That's pretty, isn't it? Oh, I never thought to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That looks really nice on there. Just brings a bit of colour to that tea-dyed paper. So let's do that. So for this, I'll just use my tacky glue. So I'm just going to glue this bit along the bottom and up the side. As you can see, I'm totally making this up. Actual proper craft with me going on. But I quite like videos like this, you know, they give you a sense of real, don't they? Anyway, so that's that. So we have a little tuck spot there and we've got the 2 pockets there. That's cute. Okay, yeah, still hidden, so it's like a hidden thing going on. All right. I hope you can follow what I'm doing, even if I seem a bit all over the place, but that's very much because I do not have a plan at all. Or I had a plan and it's changed already. So, so what we're going to do down here then? We could have some more of this. What else have I got? I've got some lace. A lace pocket, and then you're not hiding any of this behind. That's a possibility, isn't it? Let's have a little look, see. I still need to use my stencil and various other things, but let's see. No, I'm not feeling that. What else have we got? We've got this like weed killer type page. I did think I might cut this out and have this be some kind of decoration on the front. So really all I have is this. Or I've got some more of this page, but kind of would prefer to turn that into little like journal cards or something. So I suppose we could have a torn pocket go this way maybe. It would have been nice if I'd had enough of this and then had it be going, you know, have the same piece type of thing, but it's going the wrong way. So I'll have to use this, I think. So let's just see, because it was only in my scrap bin, wasn't it? So it's not like I'm losing anything major. I definitely want this yellow, I think. So if we cut it down here, just trying to get the sizing, and then I can tidy it all up. Okay, I have this. It's not very straight, Justine. Like that. What do you think? It sort of cuts off here, but I could always put something. So the other thing that I pulled out was a mushroom, which doesn't really go, if I'm completely honest. Sort of torn that a little bit short, really. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Maybe if I just make it a little bit of a nicer edge. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Straighten that side up a little bit. There we are. So it'd be something like that, although it's because I've got, yeah, because of the rounded corners is making it a little bit trickier. But if I just do that, the cogs are wearing now. Definitely a challenge, this one, which is good. You know, we all need a challenge once in a while, don't we? But yeah, this is definitely a challenge, but I'm really enjoying it. I really am. So good challenge, Mandy. It's definitely getting my cogs whirring this morning. To be fair, I've probably made it a little bit trickier for myself, given it's my first video back, first crafting back really, actually, after my holiday. So, you know, I'm still not firing on all cylinders in that respect. Right, let's just... Okay. So now we have 4 pockets. So we've got the 2 in there, nice expandable ones. It is only copy paper. So although they feel nice and strong, I do have to bear that in mind. Little tuck spot there and there. So we're getting somewhere. We have a thing. Right, so what are we going to do then? If I cut out this circle, it doesn't really go though, does it? Right, let's have a little think about this lace, because we do need to use some other parts that we've picked out. So how are we going to incorporate this? We could have the lace as just a bit of decoration somehow. Could have a little cluster maybe. I'm gonna just take a piece of this off. Okay. Sometimes I find it easier to work with like smaller pieces, because then you can kind of just, can't you? You can just shove it somewhere and just see what it becomes. I don't know, it's not really, it's not calling to me, this. I do still have the leaf as well. What am I going to do with this? I mean, I could turn that into some kind of dangle, and then we still have the mushroom. Is that? Oh, that's cute. I like that. Should I pop it there? Let's just do that. And at least that's another thing used from things that I pulled out. So let's do that. So we're just gonna pop it in, almost like it's growing out of these it's growing out of these plants, isn't it? Kind of thing. Just need to move it over a bit. Like that. That's cute. Okay. I'm just gonna just trim that off. Okay, so we have a mushroom growing out of the plants here, and probably want to decorate up these little pockets a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut some more of this off, and we're going to do some layering, which is not my forte. I'm well aware of that. But you know, today is all about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone and just, you know, trying out different things. So if I were to have something, actually, it's one of those videos where I really want to be talking, but I'm really concentrated. I'm just thinking, could that be something? Like an eyelet or something. I want to put it up here and have an eyelet that then, you know, wraps around or something, but it needs more. So what if we take some of my scraps? I like the green, so I wonder if I were to take some of this green. Be a bit small, but let's just see. You can get a hint of the green peeking out. Yeah. What else have we got on this thing? I really picked a tricky book page, didn't I? The alternative is this or this. My punch. Yeah, did not like me today, so I had to use my other smaller circle punch. So I got this, some scripty text. So I think if I layer this up with that bit of lace and the green, this could form my closure on the front with my crocodile. What do we think? So let me just ink this, and then if I glue all the pieces. Together, and then so this will go on the lace, and then I need to decide whether to put my crocodile through the entire flap or just through this piece and then glue it on. That's the bit I need to decide. It's just a little bit of a layering cluster thing. So we would have this here, maybe. So I need to decide whether to put the eyelet all the way through the entire flap, like that, or, yeah, I think that's probably the safest bet, isn't it? So if I glue this one down, I want it hanging over ever so slightly in the middle. Is that the middle? Yep, about there, I think. Yep, perfect. Like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to put an eyelet all the way through all those layers. So, okay, so that's our front. Just popped an eyelet all the way through, as you can see. Yeah. So we've used, what have we used? We've used the craft paper, we've used the lace, we've used the thing from the scrapbox, the something dyed, and the sticker. We haven't used this yet because I changed my mind. I haven't used the stencil or the leaf. Right, so I'm wondering whether this could be some kind of dangle. Coming off of the string or something. That's a possibility. So I'll look at that in a minute. We don't have anything in the pockets, but probably want to decorate these up with something. I've got little bits of the scraps of lace. Let me, I'm just having a look at my words. I think we're allowed to bring in extra pieces. I mean, it's too late anyway because I used the scrapbook paper. I think the idea is to use just as long as you use everything that you had, that you picked out. I think we're allowed to add to it. And if not, then I'm afraid I'm cheating. Because I am wanting to have something. Okay, I found this word that I have from a book, woodlands and hedgerows, which is quite nice. Kind of matches with the mushroom, getting a mushroom in the woodlands, and then all of this could argue that that's kind of hedgerows. So if I were to have this on top of the lace, something like this, maybe. Kind of want it. Oh, maybe I could have it over there, and then that kind of hides the fact that, you know, the pocket just suddenly stops, doesn't it? And then, because the mushroom is that side, so I kind of like the idea of having, yeah, I like that. And then we could always have something else in there. Because I haven't used any of this book page yet. That doesn't really go though. So something on here I could use, even if it's just a little bit of the text maybe. Some, oops, something like this, and that across there. Just gonna, oops, tear it down a tad. It's just to have it peeking out. I wouldn't ordinarily do it, but of course I do have to work it in somehow, don't I? Might be that it doesn't go there, but we'll see. I think it wants something else with colour in it. Oh, I've got some more scraps here, you see. So what if I cut a circle out of here, and I use this as part of this little cluster that we have going on. I'm really making it up now, if you can't already tell. I'm just going to take off this piece because it wants to kind of come off anyway. This lace is quite delicate, you see, so it's not really playing ball. Something like that. And then this can go something like that. Yes, I think so. It's one of those things is I'm just going to start inking and gluing and getting them down. And then the only thing, oh, I haven't used the leaf yet, have I? That 3D leaf and the stencil. The stencil is easy enough. I can just go over some of that tea dyed paper with the stars which I probably should have done before gluing it down, but oh well. I will quickly do that at the end. That won't be that'll be fine. It'll all work out, won't it? So yeah, I hope you all consider checking out this challenge. I'm making an absolute pig's meal out of it, but I'm doing my best. And no, some of the ladies have made some really lovely things, and some very, very creative things already. I think that was the biggest thing that I noticed, was people were being so creative with these random things that they'd pulled out. You know, all kinds of things are being made, which is what it's all about, isn't it? This type of a thing. It's all in good fun. Can you see what I'm doing? Sorry, I'm pulling everything to me. Just kind of going with the idea that that will be something like that, and this wants go in somewhere, something maybe a bit further down. Something like that. Oops, too much glue. So we want that there, and that kind of like that. Okay, and then glue the whole thing down. Woo! Okay. It's looking very eclectic, but you know what? I'm quite liking it. I think the more embellishments, the more sort of bits that we add, sort of tying it all in together really. And you could almost argue I meant this to happen. I knew exactly what I was making when I started this video. No, I didn't really. I promise you I didn't. I had an idea, but that idea has not come to fruition, but in a good way, I think. Of course, we look really plain on the outside now, but of course, party on the inside, which I suppose if you had all of that on the outside, it would be a bit much, wouldn't it? Just sort of, I don't know if that probably doesn't really want sticking down. Just taking off some of the glue, because where we've got the lace making it quite 3D, I don't think that looked quite right. Something like that anyway. I'm just making it up. So we still have a pocket, albeit a slightly smaller pocket than when we started, but that's okay. Oops. That's all right, that's all right. Right, let's let's think about, what do we need? Oh, we need this. Yes, so I want some kind of a string. So what shall we use? We need to do some stars. So I've just found some nice twine, so I'm just adding in a few stars, just here and there, because stars don't really go with the rest of it, so I just kind of am adding little bits just to say I've done it. A little bit on there. Okay, yeah, that'll do. As I say, just stars don't really, star stencil wouldn't have been my first choice. let's put it that way, but just a little bit of stars is okay, I think. So we've used that. We have used everything. So I found some twine, so figured it out. So I'm going to come in the top just with one strand, okay, and then that's going to be the piece that I'm going to wrap around like so. Okay, like that, and then we can just tie it with a little bow just here. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm just leaving a little bit extra because we haven't filled the pockets or anything yet. Oh, that looks so cute. Now what on earth are we gonna do with this? This could be a dangle. Could it? Would that be too much? I'm just gonna ask my husband about whether he can put like a hole in this or something for me. I'll just be 2 secs. We have success. He was able to drill a very small hole in the top for me, and I've just added a jump ring and a bulb pin. And I'm wondering if there's some way that I could have this as a dangle on the front, or even if I don't use it on this piece, because I don't know if I can really fit it in there, but if not, then it will just be a dangle that goes in the journal. But let's just, for the sake of the challenge, let's do it. Let's see. It's a bit long with the bulb pen, but you get the idea, don't you? Maybe the dangle doesn't quite go. I've made a dangle out of the piece that I pulled, but I don't really want to put it on there, so I'm not going to. I don't think that is cheating as such, but we have made a dangle out of what was, just a 3D leaf, so that is fine by me. Is that everything? Have I used everything? I think I have. Let me, have I got that list? As I fight with this bow. Found it. So let's have a little look. So we've got the lace. We've got it as a bit of a cluster detail in the front. So we have got it here and here. So that's the lace. Something from my scrap bin was this, which we made 2 little tucks out of, and I still have a little piece left over, a couple of small scraps. Book page, that was the weed killer. This thing, wasn't it? So I managed to sneak in a little bit just behind this word, part of the cluster detail. So that was that. A sheet of craft paper, that was the digital from Nanine. So the whole thing is lined with it, and we've also used a piece on the front. A sticker, that was the mushroom sticker. So it kind of looks like it's growing out of this. Embellishment, this was this leaf, which we've turned into a dangle, which doesn't really go with this, but it can be a dangle for a journal now. So can we argue I've made 2 pieces, maybe? Something dyed, this was the tea dyed paper, which we've now got as 2 expandable pockets. And a stamp or stencil, and I've used the star stencil just in places. Considering that is like a completely random thing that we've just made, I'm really happy with that. So we've got 2 pockets in here, and we've got 2 little tucks for some kind of like journal card or just little tags or something. Some little tickets. I'm just playing with stuff on my desk now, but you get the idea. Yeah, just something little poking out of there would be really cute. And it's flat enough, isn't it, to go in a journal. There we go. So yeah, this just ties in a bow at the front. Well, there we are. I have done the challenge. We have succeeded, she says. I can't remember how to do my closure. We have succeeded. We have completed said challenge. And we have used all the pieces we were supposed to. So we have made, what did I call it? It's like a little ephemera pouch, folder, tuck spot pocket thing. I'll come up with a better name before publishing this video for sure. And we have made a little dangle to go with it, which may or may not go on there. If not, then I'll just have it as a little dangle. Well, there we go. That was the Oops, Look What I Made challenge, and my goodness, that was an oops today. I hope you enjoyed following along with my little craft with me, this completely random piece that we've just made. And yeah, I hope you'll consider checking out our little Facebook group or having a look at the challenge. Even if you're not on Facebook, don't feel like you can't take part in the challenge, you know, if you just want to have a go. So I'm just going to place this here. These are the things that you'll need to go off and find, just like I did at the beginning of the video. And then, yeah, who knows what you might end up making, because, yeah, I think I'd set out to make a little, like, notebook booklet thing. Then I wanted to make a little pouch, and then it just became a pouch with multiple pockets, which is fine by me. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. That was very much a craft with me. I've had absolute whale of a time, so thanks ever so much for joining me. And I promise on the next video I will talk a little bit more about my Isle of Wight trip, because yeah, this tiny little thing took a lot of concentration for me today, but it was my first video, first bout of crafting since my holiday, so I promise I will talk to you properly about it next time. Alright, well thanks ever so much everyone, and as always, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.